morning, folks. Here we go again. More madness, more Rocky barking, more everything. Hope everyone's well. And before I start, I would like to wish a happy 96th birthday to Her Majesty the Queen. 96 today. Absolutely spot on. Anyway, hope everyone's well. This is a great response to everyone from last week watching it. If you're watching this after the effect, they're becoming very popular, which is good news. Good evening, Alan. Hello, David, again. We've already spoken today. And so what have you been watching this week? Well, it's been a bit of a surprise when I looked at the figures today. Hi, Alan. The channel last week, we had 1,447 people viewing, picked up 12 new subscribers. So welcome to you new folk. And if you're watching this because you've got nothing better to do, and if you like what we're doing, don't forget to hit that subscribe and ring that bell, because you'll get to find out what we do. So what have you been watching? Well, coming in at number 3 was last week's live stream, 62 views. Excellent stuff. Straight in, and I mean literally straight in at number 2 from yesterday, Paul McCartney's solo albums, 65 already. Overnight it went bananas. I looked at it when I went to bed, and that would have been about 6. Evening. Good afternoon, Mick. And I looked at it this morning, and it was at 60. Just thought, blimey. And number 1, ironically, is the Beatles at 131. So I don't know what happened there. Have you people have been watching Beatles and then watch Paul McCartney, or Paul McCartney and watch Beatles? But yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, the show, I enjoyed doing that one. That was a tough ranking, because to be quite honest, even though there's some of them at the bottom, they're very hard to rank, Paul McCartney albums. And the other thing before they go on, the lights are not on yet. That is natural light coming through my window. So in the last 28 days, there's 6,289. Picked up another in that month. We've had 29 new subscribers. What's been watched in the last month? Well, creeping in at number 3 with 190 views was Kate Bush. Number 2, Rolling Stones albums, 198. And the live stream from the 7th of April, 231. That is the most. Okay, far away, Alan, and I'll once I finish gabbling, I'll answer your question. Right, sip of the drink. Back in the world. I don't know. I'll check that one out. Right. Now, one person might know what I'm drinking tonight by the shape of the glass. So I have a glass for every occasion. Hi, Charles. Right. So where are we? Right. So the big thing, nearly a year old, and we've now had 76,251 views, which is pretty damn impressive. 420 subscribers now. Thank you, Dave. No much change in the top 3, though. Jethro Tull, Sojana Sleeping single, 3297. Jethro Tull studio albums is 3381 this week, and Quo is still out way in the front at 5270. Right, as you've come in, I heard on the grapevine, and yes, Rocky's here now. I don't know if you've heard, but I was watching the classic album review, and Barry said that Van Halen are thinking of getting back together without Eddie Van Halen So I've put a poll, should it happen? And I say no. Doesn't need to happen. So we'll see if everyone is in agreement. So what do we got next week? Yeah, it shouldn't. It's not going to happen. I hope it doesn't. They want to get Joe Satriani, David Lee Roth, which I think is one of the worst singers of Van Halen. Okay, that was controversial. Alex Van Halen. They're thinking about Michael Anthony as well. I don't know. I don't think that'll work because Michael Anthony fell out with David Lee Roth. So I think it's just a rumor. But yeah, no more Van Halen. The Circle are good because you've got Sammy Hagar and Alex Van Halen. I mean, Michael Anthony. Okay, shall we talk about what we're going to be watching next week? Well, Monday we have got part 2 of Look of a T.Rex thing that Richard McCook asked for me. I did the Tyrannosaurus Rex, and I did pan the first 2 albums, but we're doing the proper stuff. We're doing T.Rex this week. Hold on a minute. Wait, have your carrots. So I'll give him his orange things. He likes a carrot today, does our Rocky. Classic album review next week. It's a sort of a cheeky one, and we know we've been doing Paul McCartney, and it was the end. But I couldn't not do a Paul McCartney without doing Wings Over America, the great live album from Wings. So I'll be reviewing that in Classic Album. Tuesday, another album ranking for Tuesday. This time we're going to be a bit glam rocky. We're going to look at Sweet. And for those of you that are Sweet fans, know that the albums are nothing like the Bubble Gum Pop songs they had. The albums are more heavier, so I'll be looking at those. Retro ranking next week is a request from, I can't remember which of you asked, but they said, could you do a Thin Lizzy retro ranking? And the answer to that is yes. We're doing it on Tuesday. I'm going to pick my top 10 favourite songs and a list of... oh, you did, Charles. Yeah, we're doing it on... Yeah, I've done my top 10 songs, but there are 5 honourable mentions because I couldn't leave out certain tracks. You may be shocked that there's 2 tracks that you think they're going to be on that list, and they're nowhere near it. Interesting. Wednesday. Well, we haven't had a ladies' day this month, so we're going to have a Marathon Wednesday to a band that's basically fronted by 2 fantastic ladies. I am talking about the Wilson sisters, Anna and Nancy. So I'll be ranking the Heart albums. I love Heart. I think Ann Wilson's probably got the best female rock voice in the world. Thursday is the last Then and Now. I don't know how long for, but we're having a change after that. We're going to do that Battle of the Debutantes. And the last Then and Now is American rock band Skid Row, who were famous for a little while and then fell off the planet. Barracuda. It's great watching Nancy do that live because I have seen Heart live. They were very good. Right, I'm going to keep waffling, but when it starts getting dark, someone tell me I'm going dark. Then we've got album art cover. We're going to look at the studio albums of Hawkwind. Obviously, we'll be back here next Thursday doing this old chopsing and talking. Live albums next week. ZZ Top, bit of the Boogie Boys from Texas. They've only released 3 official, but I've got a bunch of honourable mentions, bootleg type things that are worth a mention and giving a bit of love to. And then next week's one-off album. This is... Oh, thank you. Yeah, I am going grey. Who cares? As I was saying, we have got a one-off album next week. It's an absolute gem called A Band. Well, it'd be nice if he did. I might drop him an email because I've got his email. Watch my shows. Yeah, this band, our band. I'm doing an album called Across the Water by a band called Kooga, who were around in the 80s. They nearly made it. There's a nearly made it band. They made one album, and I've got it. It's really good. Now, in other news, for those of you that like Thunder, their new album is due out on the 29th of April. It's a double album, and it's called Dopamine, I think. So that'll be reviewed very shortly. I am looking forward to that so much. Big Thunder fan. Also, another band that we featured on the channel, Shinedown, their new album is due out on the 1st of July. So looking forward to that one. So I'll just keep you updated where we are on your requests and how we're getting on listening to the music. So I've listened to 10 out of the 15 Cure albums. We're getting through them. I've listened to 4 of the 6 Jam albums, 5 out of the 15 Budgie. The Water Boys, I've now listened to 5 of the 17, so we're getting through that. I listened to 2 of the 4 of Shakespeare's Sister. We're up to 5 out of 11 of Pat Benatar. Now, there was a young lad that came on here the other week talking about Chrome. I've listened to 2. Kooga, it's spelled with a K, O-O-G-A. They only had one album. They were from Wales, deep Wales. Where was I? I'll tell you about Cocktail Twins in a minute. Yeah, I really can't get into Chrome, but I'm going to persevere. Listen to one Alice Cooper album from his very first one with the band. Now, we were talking about Dire Straits. I've listened to 4 of the 6. Pink Floyd, I've done 9. DO3, Tears for Fears 4. Completed. They're ready to go. Cocktail Twins, Blue Oyster Cult, Depeche Mode, Kansas, the Yardbirds, the Eric Clapton solo. So they're all ready to go. Cocktail Twins will come up in May, Giles, along with Depeche Mode. So that's all that rubbish dealt with, as they say. No Wallies of the Week this week. I'm disappointed, actually. Yeah, I'm looking forward to VOC. Yeah, no Wallies of the Week. Although I did have this random one on the Stray Cats. He put something, and I put to the person, "What do you mean?" And he says, "Forget it." And I thought, well, I don't know what he was. Some random. So, does anyone know what I'm drinking tonight? Look at the shape of the glass. Mick, no, I haven't done Trapeze. I've listened to the albums, but I haven't done it. But now you've asked, I might pop it in somewhere. Yeah, they're a great band, Trapeze. Looking forward to that one. Glenn Hughes was in Trapeze. I think Dave Holland as well. Yeah, yeah. Rocky in a bad mood. No, he's just. Come here then. You want to come up? You want to say hello to everybody, do you? Oh. There we go then. Say hello to everyone. Skin, yeah, I might do. Rocky wants airtime. Yeah, he does. I think he knows what's going on now. There you are. Your fans are looking at you. You get more You're more popular than me these days. Yeah. Oh dear. Oh, he likes that, doesn't you? He even gets a mention in the descriptions now. Well, it's something. It's nothing to do with what I'm doing, and I'm sure Dave will elaborate in the text. He's been putting something together because so you guys can find the videos a lot easier. The ones we've done. So he's put together a little list, but I'm sure his own sub channel, what Dash Hound Delights. Hold on, let's sort him out. Yes. He thinks he's some Roman on a couch. You have to force feed him bits of carrot because he won't eat it whole. Well, I've got some great videos of Rocky over the years. Yeah. When he was younger and a bit more fitter and running around. He's a man of leisure now. Yeah, this band Kooga, I won't take it. I used to see them in the Five Bells in Northampton. And on in other news, I have actually bought a little record player so I can play some of my 12-inch singles. What comments would be welcome? It's I'm not very good on these abbreviations. Oh, this is going down rather well tonight. Oh. Okay then, Mr. Keogh, what's in there? Work in progress. Okay then, Mr. Keogh, what am I drinking? Look at the shape of the glass, I'm sure you know. There's a couple of things missing because I haven't got them. Well, I've got one thing. Straight vodka? No. My days of drinking straight vodka are gone. And that got ruined one night when I was, back in the day when I was involved with a rugby club in Northampton. No, there's two things missing. Some ice and a slice. Yes, going back to this story of vodka. Now, I was match day secretary of a rugby club. One night after I'd had some duties to do, it was an ex-president. He'd come back from Poland on a business trip, and he brought this vodka. God, you could strip paint off the wall. Yes, well done. It is. It is my G&T glass. I went shopping today and I treated myself. You know, you can get these little cans of double G&T, and you don't need to go anywhere because you went before we came in. Come here then. Wait, I've got them here. God, such a demand. It's worse than having a child sometimes. That's a Belgian beer glass. Yeah, it is. It's sort of cheat. It sort of substitutes as my gin glass because I can't find my gin glass. That's the nearest thing I've got to a gin glass. Yes, that's had some very strong Belgian beer in it. But I haven't had one of my favourites because I'm not paying the import to get it in. It's a really nice beer. So ranking the vodkas. Yeah, I've got all that. I don't know where my gin glass went. It's all right. I'm feeding Rocky his carrot. Yeah, so when we have the birthday bash on the 14th of May, I don't know about Mick because he'll be in the middle of the afternoon, but we'll do a connoisseur of what we're. Someone actually does that on here, ranks beers. He does music as well. He's pretty good. I sometimes don't agree with his rankings, but we all listen to things differently. Yeah, there's a new guy. Oh, excellent. I don't know what I'll be having, something alcoholic. Yeah, he does like Marillion a lot. I like Marillion a lot. Now, was it someone actually said about when I did the live Marillion, you haven't included those? The reason is they're from the Racket Club. And I've now started to listen to them. So that'll be coming up. That's probably coming up in the week leading up to the first birthday. Well, I'll say the week for the first birthday, a lot of the shows that week are all going to be sort of my music and why I got into into music. So you're going to get everything's going to be evolved around my music collection. Right, we got some oddities up here. It's getting dark now. Let's do that. That's by magic. Right, little butt thing. I'll just do the line. That's it. Right. So up here tonight, let's see how good you are with your obscurities. Does anyone know who this is? So that is Mars, a solo album by Roger Glover. We got Honeymoon Suite, second album, The Big Surprise. There is a video show on them. Up there is the mighty, you can't see it all, but that's Dream Evil cover. That is one of my Marillion imports, Brief Encounter. And that's Gary Moore's G-Force. And that there is a compilation album, Monsters of Rock, the very first one. So that's what's up there this week. I haven't decided what's going up there next week. Oh. No, he's not by the door. He just wants more sweeties and he's not having any. He's like a big kid. He'll come back in a minute. Yeah, it is. It's got some really good bands on. I'll tell you what's on it. Oh, Jerry Moore's come down as well. Right. On this album, we have it's got Rainbow Stargazer, but it's sung by Graham Bonnet. Loving You Sunday Morning by the Scorpions. Another Piece of Me. Backs to the Wall, the Mighty Saxon. Hold on. put that. There we go. Where were we? All Night Long Rainbow. I Like to Rock. Can everyone remember who did I Like to Rock? It's a band that we've never heard. Well, I've heard of them. And if you're old and decrepit like me and like your rock, does anyone remember a band called April Wine? Because that's who does that. And Don't You Know What Love Is by a band called Touch. And the other one is Road Racing by Riot. So there's some good tracks on there. Let's put these back. You're not having anything, you. Because I know you're not by the door. You're just showing off. There we go. Put them back up there. Did you know that without looking? Yes? No, you're not having anything. You can come in here, but you're not having anything. Oh. Put that light there so we can get in. Here comes dulcet tones. Come on then you come. You come in. No, look over here. Ooh, come on then, come and get it then. I'll tell you what, when you come over, Dave, when we do this, you can sit and keep him quiet while you're topping away on the come here, you, while I'm topping away. So I've knocked everything up now. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I was this band Chrome. Does anyone else listen to it? Has anyone ever heard any other Chrome? Because it's really out there. You think some of Hawkwind stuff's really weird? You should listen to these. Totally cosmic. Anyway, I want to talk a little bit more about the new show that's starting in May called Battle of the Debutantes. As I said, this is where I want your input as well. I'm not going to tell you who the first two bands are yet, but we've got Band A and Band B. And on the first show, I will do a very similar thing that I did with Then and Now. Go through the nuts and bolts of it. Put up the scores on the doors. But then in the comments box afterwards, if you watch it, I want you to put which one you like. And then on the Thursday night, the following Thursday, I will give you the results. So it's not just which I think is the best album. It's what the subscribers to the channel think, or anyone that puts comments on it. So it's a general. It's more of a general vote than me. I will do what I think, and then we'll add them up and see what you think, and then we'll announce the winner on the following Thursday. So, yes, this database Dave's doing, it's just to help you guys when you can't find anything. But I'm actually doing something as well. I'm actually going to put them on the channel all together into groups as well. So it just makes life a little bit easier. I think I need to really tidy up the channel because it's probably a mess. RTA versus subscribers, yes. Will you agree with me? Some people don't agree with me. I just wonder who's going to I think everyone that knows that I don't go with the flow, which why should I go with the flow? I mean, I think the Thin Lizzy one that will surprise you. There are at least 3 songs on there that everyone would expect it to be in my top 10, and they're not even there. Yeah, yeah. That if it's the one I think it is, he seems to I think it's the guy that sits there with his shirt off in a lake. It's the one that told me that Flash Gordon's sound bites. Yeah. He doesn't like half of the stuff I put up. I haven't blocked him yet because I just find him highly entertaining. But we have found at least 3 fans of Hot Space. Talking of Queen, I think it was this week on Sea of Tranquility, the British Connection. They did their favourite 2 Queen albums and their worst 2. Which I sort of agree with. I mean, and they had a wild card. It was a great show, and they all said the same about Hot Space. There's not many people that like that album. Yes, it is a resounding note of Van Halen reforming. I don't think if they did and they put out an album, I wouldn't even bother with it. I normally do, but Van Halen without Eddie Van Halen, this is not going to work. I mean, Joe Satriani is a good guitarist, but he certainly isn't Eddie Van Halen. It's like anyone that tries to cover a Van Halen song. I mean, when we did Striper on Monday, Striper have covered one of their songs from their early albums, and it's terrible. There's no one that can play like Eddie Van Halen. No one will ever play like Eddie Van Halen. He was one of a kind. I mean, I was lucky enough to see him a couple of times, and he was just absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I was surprised how many people like the Striper. I mean, yeah, it was a lot of love for Innuendo. I'm surprised that Pete didn't like Made in Heaven, because I actually like Made in Heaven. I think it's like Innuendo. It's a very special album. You listen to some of the lyrics on that album, they're really good. But each into their own. But I'm glad someone put my favourite album at the top, Sheer Heart Attack, and Queen too. My favourite 2 albums, and I think it was Stephen Reed that had them too. They're quite funny, them 2 are. Well, them 3 together, I do like Simon Bray. I think he's hilarious. Yeah, that going back to Innuendo, it's just one of them albums. You listen to them songs and what Stephen Reed said. Even now, you go, the show must go on, you know. And then you get Delilah. Another interesting track. Yeah, there's a new guy he's started up a channel, and I can't think of who he is. He's got another channel because he's got some health issues, and he started up thinking he did his favourite prog albums. I'll put the link into his channel, into the description box later. But I wished him very much success, and he actually mentioned, when he decided he was doing it, he actually mentioned the channel. So, which I thought was nice. It sort of gave him some inspiration. Obviously, he's a big fan of Sea of Tranquility. I don't think there's anyone that's not a fan of Sea of Tranquility. But anyway, going back to the Sea of Tranquility, I think it was what Mick said last week. I was talking to Dave about it, what you said about me. I was really touched. Really, really touched. So thank you, Mick. Yeah, he's not keen on the punk. I think when Martin Popoff starts going on a punk, you can see Pete going, because obviously Martin Popoff loves punk. I bet when he was younger, he had his hair up like that. Yeah, I feel quite chuffed, Mick. Thank you. He just, now and again, it's nice to get a little boost when I'm doing a good job. Bit touched. I'm quite humble, really. What started out as something for boredom has now sort of taken my entire life over. But it's all good, and it keeps me sane. And I've always liked doing things for other people. So, but this is very rewarding. I mean, especially this live stream. It's starting to gather momentum. Even there's only a few of us actually on the actual live. People watch it later as well. So, which is great. And as long as you keep coming in, we'll keep me doing it. Because it's always a lot of fun to talk to you guys. Because, I think some of you are the people that actually joined now are some of my loyal subscribers. So, I like the numbers and then tend to rank things without realising it. So you thank you. I am a bit. I know. When I started that, I wanted to be different. I didn't want to be like everybody else. I very rarely swear. No need for it. So it's just what Dave's just put. Maybe smile. Don't swear. No need to swear unless it's thing. I don't say crap a lot, but only when it is really crap. Because there's one channel, I don't know who he is. He's a youngster, and he F's and Jeffs every other word, and you think I switch off because I just find it. There's no need to swear. Absolutely no need for it. Oh dear. Just because I haven't given you any love, innit? But as soon as we're finished, I'll go back in the lounge, put the telly on, and he'll be up there, and he'll get so much fuss. There's actually a thing on my phone about dash hounds, and it's everything that Rocky is. I'll see if I can find it. I'll tell you what it says. Bear with me a minute, folks. Talk amongst yourselves. Right. There we go. Oh, this was sent to me. This is a dash hound's house rules. Okay. Number 1, don't come smelling home like other dogs. He doesn't like that. He goes mental. This one is very true of Rocky. You must feed me every goodie you eat. Don't call or lead me to a bath. Leave me outside even though I just came in. There's something I forgot to sniff. That's Rocky all the time. I can sleep anywhere I choose, even if it means you trip over me. Don't shush me from barking. While you're on the phone, I can hear the wind blowing in the leaves. Don't move me while I'm sleeping sideways in the middle of the bed. You have enough room on the edge. That's him. Come here. Come here, you. Come on. What's the Don't think you can leave the room without me. That's about right. If it lands on the floor, it's mine. And my favourite one, you'll never go a pee alone. Right, I'm going to put them up. Come on, then. Come here, then. I know. You great lump. Here we go. You sit on my lap. That's it. Yeah, see that you. That's all he wants. He just wants fuss all the time. No, you're not having me gin. You can have a bit of carrot. Yeah. So all them things about dash hounds is absolutely Rocky all over. No, he's quiet now. I'll be blown. Equal screen time. Oh yeah, you're right, Mick. He is. He likes to be part of it. He's one of them dogs though. He likes to be around people. Oh, let's have a look. Dave sent me something. No, I loved it. Oh God, yes. I don't know if I can see that. That's what he sent, but you can't really say. Drank a few of that. Yeah, I actually enjoyed listening to the Cocteau Twins. I really did. So the fact that I've now got them on my iPod, it is quite. I find them quite relaxing, actually. Yeah, and it's like some of the Depeche Mode stuff. I would have never have listened to it and wouldn't have bothered with it if it weren't for this. But the Cocteau Twins, yeah, I'm all for them. So listening to Tears for Fears today, I was listening to the Sowing the Seeds album, and what an album. Absolutely belter album that is. I was trying to record Rocky on, would it have been Tuesday? I was listening to Meddle, and Shame has come off. It was quite funny because we were sitting in here. I was doing some scripts for the next week's shows, and he went to the door and he stood at the door barking at the door because he could hear the dog on Seamus. Now he's quite happy now, sat on my lap. But if I stop stroking, he'll moan. I feel like, what's his name, Blofeld with his cat, but I've got a dog. I don't know. If you drank all that, you'll be swinging from the rafters. Okay. So don't forget for the thing, there'll be a Q&A session as well, so you can ask me lots of questions, not too personal. Because I don't just like music, I do like doing other things. And this week I have been to the cinema. I don't go very often. And I went to see a film called Operation and Mincemeat, which is a true story about deception of Hitler in the Second World War. And one of the people that was involved in Operation Mincemeat was a certain Mr. Ian Fleming. It was actually his idea. He came up with it. Tomorrow, what we got for you tomorrow? We're doing some live albums, of course, as it's Friday. We'll be looking at the Mighty Saxons live albums. And then we got the one-off album is the Lars. I had a really good listen to it this week, and I forgot how good a good album. The Man That Never Was, yeah, that's it. But this is an updated version. And then I'm going to go and have my ears lowered tomorrow as well. As it's getting a bit warmer, I need to do something with this. So, busy day tomorrow. And I've got rugby to watch tomorrow. Yes, you're absolutely right, Charles. Spot on. Yes, we are going to. And before you ask, yes, I'm going to sort of do something on cast as well. But I think the most bizarre band this week was when I did Opeth today. They must be the only band that were formed. And by the time the first album came out, there was no original members. They're a funny band. I mean, I definitely like the more modern Opeth because it's melodic, progressive metal rock. But the early stuff is death metal, and that's an excuse for singing. It's more grunting. Sounds like Nathaniel Man. How can you call that singing? So that'll probably be the only bit of death metal I ever review. And I didn't have much to say about it. Although I have given a 0 out of 10. Did I like the Mission? I didn't mind the Mission, no. Haven't done them, have we? Been listening to some Stone Roses as well. I forgot to say that. I've listened to both their albums. I literally listened to them straight after each other. And I still can't think which one I like better, so I've got to listen to them again. Yeah, I like a bit of goth rock. Sisters of Mercy. There was a pub I used to drink in Northampton called the King Billy. Yeah, I've got to sort of mention that because there are some tracks on that album that are not on the other album. So I think for the first time ever on the channel, we will have just to fill it out a little bit, is actually put the compilation album on as well, because it's got some good stuff on it. Well, I sort of half agree. I can't make out which one I prefer, because I think that both them albums have got good points on both of them. It's just I'm going to have to really be very critique and go through the tracks again. I think the only way I can do that is listen to them under the headphones, so I can really, really get my teeth into them, because just listening to them straight. So we'll see what happens. Children is a good album. Yes, it is. Very good album. Yeah, we're definitely going to mix it up a bit in the second year. Get some really obscure. Jimi Hendrix. Yeah, I have thought about doing Jimi Hendrix, but no one's asked. We sort of it's in my little book. I mean, Dave sent me a huge list as well, so I've just the book's getting bigger and bigger. I'll need an encyclopedia. Right, do you want to get down now? Okay, go and have a sleep. Go on then, off we go. Yeah, finish off your carrots. Oh. Yeah, there are some good live stuff. Well, where you done? Where you go? What happened? The answer is no, Rocky. You're not having anything else. I don't care what you think. No. Just one moment. I'll give him his dentist stick. That'll keep him quiet for 10 seconds. Yes. No, I've given him his dentist stick now so he can clean his teeth. I actually got some new ones today for him. Got minty ones. What's this about a new webcam? Have you got a new webcam, Alan? Mine's got a pretty light on it now, so if it does even get dark, I can just tap it. Right, I think I'm going to end the poll now because we all say nah. I'm also going to every week. I'm going to put a little poll up. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a bit more sturdy. Yeah, every week I'm going to put up a little poll, get a bit of a debate going. Something that could be controversial. See where the people's favoritisms lie. I mean, there's always that classic one, isn't there? AC/DC, Brian Johnson or it was poles apart. Yeah. Who was the better singer in AC/DC? Brian Johnson or Bon Scott? We could do who's the better singer in Black Sabbath. That'll be a good one. Include everyone that sang with Black Sabbath. Because I don't think Ozzy was the best singer, but that's my opinion. Well, that didn't last 5 seconds, did it? Here he comes. Twinkle Toes himself. Hang us, who's that? I've come up with a good. That's going to fall down. No, it isn't. Right, are you going to settle down now? You've had that. Yeah, I'm going for a retro ranking. As you know, I'm a huge progressive rock fan. So I'm going to sit down and I'm going to work out my favourite long prog tracks. And they've got to be over 13 minutes long. professor of prog. Well, I wouldn't say that, but I do like my prog. Angus. Oh yeah. All these things is I and TNT. Yes, I'm going to do a top 10 long prog songs with a few honourable mentions. Yeah, I don't know how I really got into prog because no one in my house was into prog when I was growing up. I think it's something that I just latched onto. I mean, I liked obviously the poppy Genesis, but then I wanted to, as I got older, I wanted to dive back into it. Yeah, you're right. It is personal, but there's some good prog bands out there. Very underrated bands. I mean, Camel, Gentle Giant, they're so underrated. Love Camel. I like Yes, one of the great prog bands. See, would you call Jethro Tull proggy? Proggy folk rock? I mean, one of my favourite prog bands is actually quite a recent one, Transatlantic. And of course, Porcupine Tree, I like them as well. Some of the more thing, and I like a band called Sky Architect. They're modern day prog. But my thing at the moment is more, I'm really into this Scandinavian progressive metal. Dream Theater. Love Dream Theater. First real progressive metal rocky band progressive metal band I got into. First track I heard by them was actually Pull Me Under, and I was just blown away by it. And I've been a fan ever since. Really into them. Love their new album, their latest album. I think it was in the top 3 of my best albums last year. But I think this year is going to be harder for the end of year review because there's been so many good albums out already this year. I mean, the new Red Hot Chili Peppers album is just absolutely fantastic. I never used to be really into them, but I've really got him into them lately. Especially with this new album. I mean, the new Tears for Fears album as well. That has been pretty impressive. But I'm looking forward to the new Thunder album. I remember seeing Thunder with Heart. Thunder opened up with for Heart. I'm sure I'm going to get some. What did I think of the last Iron Maiden album? It's got some good songs on it, but boy, are some of the introductions. What are they thinking? I mean, there's one track, I can't remember which one it is. It's 3.5 minutes before Bruce says a word. They've really, I don't know what Steve Harris is doing these days. I don't know if I know he's a big Jethro Tull fan, but I don't like these really long bass intros that are on Iron Maiden's songs now. Don't get me wrong, I like the album, but well, you can tell by he thinks he's Chris Squire sometimes, the way he tries some of them bass, but he'll never be Chris Squire. Yeah, but when it comes to Maiden, I'm a bit of a diehard for the early stuff. I like all Maiden. I mean, I've been a Maiden fan from. Don't get me started on Cetars. Oh. Rock and sitars do not belong together. There's one or two tracks that are okay. I mean, Painted Black's okay. But anything else, no. I just don't think it's the right mix. No, I'm not doing any rubbish. Oh, God. No. I'd rather Rangadell albums, I think, and that's saying something. Well, another album I put on this week. We was talking about Fanny last week, and I've listened to a Fanny album. Yes. Did anyone else? Has everyone watched? Oh, still Coldplay. Has anyone watched? Has anyone else watched the Stinkers? No. Well, I think that's a yes from Rocky. Yeah, I still can't get into Coldplay. I never will. Oh God, yeah. Norah Jones, no. I remember. Yeah. Black Norah Jones, yeah. Yeah, as I was saying about Heart, I'll probably upset a lot of people with Heart. Because so their 80s, all I say is their 80s stuff is more towards the bottom, unfortunately. But I like their early stuff. I like that classic lineup of Heart. Yeah. Yeah, they were. And you can tell why. I mean, listening to that first Fanny album, I don't think America, to be quite honest, listening to that, I don't think America were ready for them. They just weren't ready for that sort of a female rock band. I think they were good. I mean, I'd never heard it, and I played the first album. Wow, this is pretty good. Yeah, I today I've got this new record player, and the first two albums I put on that I haven't got anywhere else is I've got a couple of Dr. Feelgood albums. So I put them on. I hadn't heard them for years. They did sound good. Yeah, I during the pandemic I found lots of different stuff to listen to, and I think that's what no one else ranks them. And go, right, I'll rank them. I just spent a lot of time looking through different music. I haven't done Captain Beefheart, and I don't think it's even on my list. But guess what, Charles? It's on my list now. Right, get the bit of paper and write that down. Captain Beefheart. I haven't done a video on the GTR Live album, no. I've done one on the GTR album, but I may, because it sort of comes with a package, I might do a revisited one on that. Yeah, I'll do a revisited one there, Charles, because I think it is a good live album, that GTR. Was ya? Brilliant. That's a very underrated album. It gets slated big time. But what I noticed with it live, it sounds a lot better live because, again, it's that horrible 80s production. But the live version, it's more heavy and raw. And I mean, the version of When the Heart Rules the Mind is brilliant live. And Hack It to Bits, love that. I've actually got a copy of the album, the second album that didn't happen. Yeah, The Hunter's good live. Yeah, I could do that. I might just I'll do the comparison of the studio album, the live album. Yeah, so yeah, I'll do that. I can do that in the next couple of weeks, Mick. It's an easy one to do. Just plonk them both on, listen to them, and thing is, I had that album when it first come out, so I've been listening to it since 1986 when it come out. So I know every track off by heart, so it's easy to listen to. A very underrated album. Oh, that was very nice, very refreshing. Blue Murder, Charles. Or anything from John Sykes. I just like John Sykes. Yes, I've got some. I'd love to do a show on some of my pirate bootleg concerts. Because I've got some really gems. It's like I've got a very dodgy bootleg of Marillion at Milton Keynes Bowl because there's no official recordings of that. So I've got a very, very dodgy version of that. And I've got a Black Sabbath done in Copenhagen in the 90s with Tony Martin as well. That's dodgy as hell. But it's got a live version of Devil and Daughter on it, and there's not many live versions of Devil and Daughter. And what else have I got that's rather iffy? Well, I've got loads that recorded off the Friday Rock Show, but some eventually became albums. It's like when they did Deep Purple played at Nebworth, they sort of it went out live and then repeated it. And the only one that I haven't got official, the one Meatloaf, because Deep Purple's is an official now, and the Scorpions, they didn't broadcast that. Got Blackfoot, Alaska, Mountain, Mama's Boys, UFO. But my UFO was terrible because it was on cassette and it sort of warbled. But a few years back, UFO brought out live at the BBC, and they've got the whole of that set. Because that's got one of Phil Mogg's famous words. It had been raining all day. And Phil Mogg comes out on stage, and the first thing he says, "Don't throw any empty bottles." Because you know what happened. I don't know if you know this, Mick, being in America. back in the day, before health and safety and all that nonsense, if you went to a rock festival in this country, there'd always be a bottle fight. And the liquid in it was not drinkable. Because what you used to do, you used to sort of half fill it, put it on your finger and flick. So as it went through the air, it went like that. And what its contents used to end up on everybody's head. Yeah, that's what going to open air festivals was like in the 1980s in the UK. Bottle fights. And I remember when I was last in America, meeting a couple of guys who liked rock music, and we had a good chat, and I was telling them about it, and they just couldn't believe it. There was Portaloos, but when you're crammed in like down the front, you can't get out because you can't get back in. So, yeah. Well, I've seen lots of things thrown in the air at concerts: pizzas, burgers. I've actually seen a band literally get bottled off a stage as well. That was Status Quo, Milton Keynes. They had a band on called Jason and the Scorchers. Now, I didn't mind them because it was country rock, but no one liked them, and they got absolutely pelted. I have never seen anything like it. I don't know, Belly of Some got us some stick as well at Queen at Nebworth. They were terrible. It was left to Big Country to get everybody back on the free. I don't know if there's Mick. I don't know if there's any clips on YouTube. I'll do some research, and if I can find any, I'll let you know because it's an amazing song. This is the air full of bottles all over the place. I'll tell you what I did find on there, and it's a concert I had on VHS, the Moscow Peace Festival, which was Skid Row, Motley Crue, Ozzy Osbourne, Scorpions, and Bon Jovi. Now, we don't get fireworks. Well, I think you would today. But back in my day, it was just bottles of liquid. And in them days, I mean, girls didn't care. They'd fill bottles and throw that at you as well. But it was all good fun. Especially in the rain. Oh, dear. Nebworth, 1985 in the mud. My jeans were absolutely caked in mud. Never wore them again. I wonder why. Well, you saying that when Mick, when I went to see Pink Floyd at Wembley Stadium on the Momentary Lapse of Reason tour, God, come out of their eyes a kite. Same in the London Docklands Arena because you could smoke inside in them days, and everyone come out pied-eyed from that. And then when I saw them, never. I don't like Glastonbury because it's plastic. I just, it became too much of a, I don't know. I haven't been to Download either because there is now a sort of thing that there's people that just go to festivals for the sake of going to festivals. They've got no interest in the music. They go with their wellies, regardless of the weather. And What I don't like about Gladstoneberry is all them bloody flags. So if you're at the back, you can't see Jack because there's too many flags. Even you can't see the big screen because there's all these flags going everywhere. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, see, in the day we didn't have phones. We just went and watched the gig and had a few beers. Yeah, I hate it when you go to a gig and they go like this. I'm going to do that. They say that's where the stage is. They're going. Last time that happened to us was when we went to see Fish at Rock City. And someone shouted, "Oi, get that phone out the way. I've come to see Fish, not you being a twat." That's what I love about gigs. There's some really interesting people. I remember going to see Iron Maiden, probably the last time. Yeah, we've all done that before. I've took my camera into concerts, record dozens. Yeah, I think everybody's done that. But it doesn't seem all right now. You get these on YouTube, people, I don't want to see concerts with the phones like that. If you're going to film, turn it the right way round so you got a proper view. People just do that. It's so annoying. In our day, if in a slow song you got the lighters out and did all that. Can't do that now, can you? A lot of things you can't do at concerts now. So I've got this story about Iron Maiden. I went to see them at Twickenham. And it's when they did that tour where they did nothing beyond Seventh Son. Everything was all the classics. And there was these lads at the standing near us. They were a bit younger. And I thought, oh, great, nice to see youngsters coming to see this Iron Maiden. I think they got the wrong end of it because all they did was complain. And this is what they said, and excuse my French, we've come to see Maiden, they're just playing all this old shit. And this old shit was Rime of the Ancient Mariner, Where Eagles Dare, Murders in the Rue Morgue. Yeah, how can you call that shite? And I really got on my nerves. I went, these are the proper songs. I told them, if you want to go and see him do the other stuff, you should have read what the concert was. This is for us old farts. Stop whinging. Educate yourselves. And their excuse is, yeah, but it's old stuff. We don't like old shit. Doesn't mean, obviously, that Iron Maiden didn't exist before the Wicker Man, But that's the youngsters of the day. I don't think they appreciate the music like I do or you do. If it's not modern day, they don't want to know. But it is nice to see now and again we do get some people that actually like it. Anyway, I'm going to cut today short because I've got a very busy day tomorrow. I've got loads to do before I sit down and watch some rugby. So once again, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining in. And for those of you that have just stumbled across this on YouTube, if you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe and hit that ding dong bell. You won't get a pussy in the well, you'll just get notifications of when I'm putting stuff up. And as I put stuff up twice a day, you'll get loads of ding dongs. So everyone have a good week. Happy birthday, your Madge. I'm sure she won't watch this rubbish. I'm sure she's got better things to do than watch me gabble on. So I will see you all next week. And there's Rocky saying good night to you as well. Can't be bad. Yeah, good night, everyone. Take care and be good.